about 3 weeks or 5 weeks, then you choose a person whom you respect. It can be this person can be your teacher or one of your family members whom you respect, or one of your friends whom you respect. First, you contemplate briefly the good quality or the virtue of this respected person. You contemplate deeply, and you develop the same thought of loving kindness towards this person. For example, may so and so be well, happy, peaceful, may so and so be free from suffering, or you may decide what mental wishes you want to make. It's either one mental wish or 2 mental wishes is sufficient for you to develop this thought of loving kindness. So you develop this thought of loving kindness to this respected person for about, let's say, about 10 weeks. Then you move on to the next category, a person whom you love dearly. So you develop the same thought of loving kindness towards this person whom you love dearly. May so and so be well, happy, peaceful. May so and so be free from suffering, or any mental wish you like. So you may decide what mental wish you want to make. So you develop this thought of loving kindness towards this person whom you love dearly for about 10 weeks. Then you move on to the next category, the neutral ones, or sometimes it's also known as indifferent ones. Someone you neither love nor hate, or it can be someone whom you are indifferent to this person's welfare and suffering. Sometimes we may become indifferent to a person whom we know, but we feel indifference. That means, in other words, we do not share their happiness, or we do not show any concerns or love if that person is in trouble or suffering from sickness or illness. Or you may take a person who has been indifferent to you. In other words, that person doesn't share your happiness nor show any concern to you or when you are in trouble. So you develop this thought of loving kindness towards this person. May so and so be well, happy, peaceful. May so and so be free from suffering. Or may so and so be well, happy, peaceful. Or may so and so be free from suffering. Then for about 10 weeks, then you move on to the 4th category. There's one's enemy, or someone you dislike or hate. If you think that you do not have any enemy, then you do not have to develop thoughts of loving kindness towards the 4 categories. But you have, or you hate someone, dislike someone, maybe that person has offended you before. So you may choose that person as an object of loving kindness, or develop thoughts of loving kindness towards that person, or may so and so be well, happy, peaceful, or may so and so be free from suffering. So sometimes when loving kindness meditators not yet skillful or matured in their practice, so when they come to develop thoughts of loving kindness to their enemy or someone they dislike or hate, then they could not make any mental wish, and sometimes they feel very reluctant to to develop this thoughts of loving kindness towards the person whom they dislike or their enemies. Or sometimes a feeling of aversion could be arising, or hatred could be arising. So meditators could overcome that feeling of aversion or hatred by the thoughts of loving kindness. Then this should be meditators should continue their practice. But sometimes meditators may have difficulties to overcome this feeling of aversion or hatred towards that person. Then one of the ways to overcome this feeling of anger or hatred is by changing the objects of loving kindness. For example, when you develop loving kindness to your enemy or someone you dislike or hate, then this feeling of aversion or hatred arises, and you cannot overcome these feelings of aversion or hatred by thoughts of loving kindness. Then you may change your object. In other words, you may go back to a person whom you respect or whom you love, where you could arouse the thoughts of loving kindness easily. So you may go back to that person, or for example, a person whom you respect or person whom you love, and he could help you to arouse the feeling of loving kindness. So you go back to that object, or wish that object again, or may so and so be well and be peaceful, may so and so be free from suffering. So when you change your object to a person whom you respect or love, then the feeling of aversion, hatred would disappear. Then you may be able to concentrate the mind well on the development of loving kindness. Then when concentration becomes better and better, and when you could develop that feeling of loving kindness well, then you should bring that feeling of loving kindness towards that person that you dislike or your enemy. So by bringing that feeling of loving kindness towards the person whom you respect or whom you love, to the person whom you dislike or hate or your enemy. So in that way, it could help meditators to overcome the feeling of aversion or hatred towards someone you dislike or hate or your enemy. So this is one of the ways to overcome resentment or anger or towards an object of loving kindness. So this is one of the ways. Then the text also mentioned other ways. Like for example, one should contemplate that there are these 7 things gratifying and helpful to an enemy that happen to one who is angry. So in other words, an enemy wishes task for his enemy, or the text says the enemy may have these wishes for his enemy. The first thing is that the enemy may wish the other enemy let him be ugly. So in other words, no enemy relishes an enemy's beauty. So an enemy, for example, if you have an enemy, your enemy may not like to see you become very beautiful, handsome, or he wants to see you become ugly. So in other words, when one is full of anger, hatred, then one becomes passions or in their look. So similarly, the enemy may wishes that let the other one lie in pain or does not live in comfort. So in other words, if we allow the feeling of anger to arise or hatred to arise, then one falls to the prey of the enemy, or one falls to the prey of enemy because one becomes angry, or one becomes a prey to the anger. So when one contemplates in this way, in other words, by contemplating on these 7 things, it helps us not to fall prey to the anger. So the enemy, an enemy also wishes the other, let him have no prosperity. So no enemy relishes an enemy's prosperity. Your enemy doesn't want to see you become prosperous. So when a person is angry, fall prey to anger, ruled by anger, then he may not be able to make a good judgment. So he mistake bad for good, or he mistake good for bad. Then so in that way, he may cause himself more harm or suffering, because he is being a prey to anger. Then the 4th thing, one contemplate, let him not be rich. So in other words, no enemy relishes an enemy's having wealth. Then the 5th, let him not be famous. So no enemy relishes an enemy's having fame. So when a person is angry, a prey to anger, ruled by anger, then his fame may be destroyed by his anger or hatred. Then the enemy wishes for his enemy. Let him have no friends. So no enemy relishes an enemy's having friends. So when a person is angry, a prey to anger, ruled by anger, then whatever friends he has, or his companions, relatives, you stay away from him, because he falls falls a prey to anger. Then similarly, an enemy may wishes an enemy may wishes for his enemy, let him on the dissolution of the body, after passing away, taking rebirth in the woeful state. So this is what the enemy may wishes for his enemy. So by contemplating in that way, one would avoid becomes angry, or one will not dwell on any unwholesome tendencies of ill will, aversion. So these 7 things that has been recommended in the text is to help us to overcome anger. In other words, not become a prey to anger. At the same time, we should not wish others these 7 things. So if we wish others these 7 things, it shows that we have anger or hatred in the mind. So sometimes a person out of anger may wish others, let this person be ugly, let this person lie in pain, not living in comfort. So sometimes out of anger, one also may wish others, let this person does not have prosperity, does not become prosperous. let this person not become rich or does not have wealth and so on, or let him not be famous, or let him does not have any friends, let him when upon passing away would take birth in the woeful state or the state of loss. So by such contemplation, then we may be able to overcome these any unwholesome thoughts or unwholesome mental states of anger, hatred, or ill will. So these are the two ways to overcome anger or hatred, aversion, ill will. When loving kindness meditations, loving kindness meditators have difficulties to overcome the feeling of anger or hatred or even dosa when they come to develop thoughts of loving kindness to the four categories. So this evening, as I did, everyone develop thoughts of loving kindness towards these four categories of individuals. So for each category, you will choose one person. Then, so you choose one person from the first category, the respected person. You choose one person for the second category, or someone you love dearly. Then you choose a person from the third category, or indifferent ones, or the neutral ones. And you choose a person for the fourth categories, that means if you have enemy, or someone you dislike or hate. So you develop thoughts of kindness to these individuals for about at least about 10 minutes before you change to next person or next individuals. And then after you develop thoughts of kindness to all these four individuals, then finally you develop the same thoughts of kindness towards all beings. But at the beginning, you may develop thoughts of kindness. You have to develop thoughts of kindness for yourself first, or wishing yourself be well, happy, peaceful, be free from suffering, or any thoughts of kindness you wish to make. So this loving kindness meditation also can be practiced in all the four postures. So at the beginning, if you want, you may walk for about 50 minutes of walking up and down, and develop thoughts of kindness to yourself or to any object of kindness meditation. And finally, you sit down. Or if you have problems to sit long, you may stand up and continue to develop thoughts of kindness to your object of loving kindness. So in the practice of loving kindness meditation, we may develop thoughts of loving kindness in all these four postures, or sitting, standing, walking, and reclining. But in the formal practice of this seldom develop loving kindness in the 9 postures. But at home, when you are about to take rest, you could not sleep well, then you may develop thoughts of loving kindness in the 9 postures. So we shall begin our practice now. So at the same time, I shall explain this method of loving kindness to our friends of Indonesia. This anger or the feeling of hatred in you. One may recall in the mind or